and welcome to episode 89 of 3 Pints and a Clean Sheet. And the Community Shield is done, and we are looking ahead to the start of the Premier League. Manchester City, of course, beat Manchester United in the Community Shield at the weekend, despite not fielding a fantastic team, shall we say.
Few kids, well, a few not unhousehold names, you could say.
Yes, and obviously, good finish from Bernardo Silva to equalise, a good header.
He's guy in the pitch.
Right, I was thinking that as well.
And then it goes to penalties, and Johnny Evans skies his over the bar.
You just knew it was going to happen.
Did Sancho not miss an or did I make that up?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He seems to have a curse at Wembley.
Lol. Just funny because he hates Ten Hag and all that.
Yes, good showing from Man United.
Better than folk would give them.
But to be fair, Man United seems to have a knack of being able to play all right against City and terrible against every other decent team.
Garnacho seems to pop up in these type of games. Like, I know it was a Community Shield, it's a glorified friendly, but I mean, you're playing your rivals. Garnacho seems to kind of pop up in there. I think he'll be their vital player this season.
Wait, yes.
He scored in the FA Cup final, didn't he?
Does. And looking ahead to the season, we have filled in a Premier League table from 1 to 20, and we are going to talk through our choices. We will post the full tables in the comments, and we will post them on our post some highlights of that on our socials as well. We will start with the top three. Then we have all agreed on the same three teams in the top three, but in different orders. I'll start off with you, Kyle, because you picked a different champion to the rest of us. Who's winning the league this season?
I hope, maybe not hope, but I'm going to say Arsenal. I think it's going to be, this is their year.
You think this is their year? Why do you think this is their year?
Same as we've kind of said for Alloa. It's bound to happen eventually. So I think it's this year. That's the only reason. I think it's bound to happen soon, so why not now?
And Robert, we are backing the continuity candidate, shall we say. We are backing Manchester City to win it once again.
I'm not going to lie, I wanted to put Arsenal. I'd rather they win it. But I just can't see past City. I just don't think they'll bottle it. I think Arsenal's best chance was the last 2 years, main chance being season just passed. I think the ship's going to sail. These teams tend to peak at certain points, maybe apart from Man City, maybe they're the exception. I don't know. But I don't know. I think Arsenal's ship has maybe sailed even.
Yeah, and I think as it stands, for me, I don't think Arsenal have solved all of the problems from last season. They've signed a centre-back, obviously a highly rated one in Calafiori, and they've permanently signed David Raya. But as of now, that's it. There's still questions, long-term questions there about centre-forward, is the attacking balance right? And I'm not quite sure it is.
I would interject with Man City. There's all these rumours about Ederson and De Bruyne and such maybe leaving. Probably a few others, but they're the two standards. So
yes, they've not gone yet.
Yeah,
well, they only really need to hold on to them till the end of the month. So
that could really affect things. Depends how that goes, I guess.
It could. I think Man City are just too good to be impacted. You know, they've managed to sell Julian Alvarez to Atletico Madrid. And I'm not sure that impacts them. Like, he was a really good player for them last season. But is he going to be, Man City seem to have the knack of being able to sell these big names and be fine. Like, sold Sterling, fine. Sold Alvarez, fine. Sold Sané, fine. Sold Alvarez, likely to be fine.
Just spawn some youngster who'll be reasonable. That'll be it.
They'll have a regen sitting. They'll have a regen sitting waiting.
100%. They'll be fine. I think it's Arsenal's year.
Fair enough. So me and Robert picked Man City. Kyle picks Arsenal. Kyle did pick Man City to come second. And I did pick Arsenal to come second. But Robert, you chose a different second place.
Yes, I chose Liverpool. I think they've kind of been on the back burner for the last few seasons, maybe say they've not been as good as they probably should be. I think they'll kind of peak up. I think a new manager will give them a rejuvenation, so to say. I don't know. I just said it was one of those. I wanted to put Arsenal first. I just, one, couldn't see past City, and two, I just think Arsenal are going to maybe drop a gear. But I hope I'm wrong. I hope this gets clipped later on in the season. But I don't know. I just thought Liverpool might be a dark horse. So yeah, that was my reasoning. Was not very statistics based, just more feeling based.
Yeah, that's very fair. Kyle, you and I both put Liverpool to finish third. You are the Liverpool fan, of course. Why third?
Obviously, I want to put them higher, biased, but there's the lack of signings is worrying, to say the very least.
Yes.
And a
I
new manager
also
might
read
not fully
that-
work. So
I've also read that Zubimendi from Sociedad has allegedly rejected the opportunity to come to Liverpool and will be staying at Real Sociedad. So that's another kind of target missed out on. I'm not entirely sure about Liverpool. I actually,
because the team is good,
Cool.
it's just there's not enough signings. That's about it. The signings
Yeah.
is worried me. So.
yes, I was very tempted to actually put Liverpool further down.
I won't go that far.
You never
Just
know.
The
they're
performances
good
of the
ones,
last few seasons have convinced me they're good enough to stay there.
Yeah.
However, I would not be surprised if they finish further down. It depends as well, like if they can hold on to key players, which I think we're at the stage of the window where they probably will.
I think something like
think,
Trent.
you know,
Trent's the one really in rumours, and that kind of died as well. So
the big Salah rumor, I think if it was happening, it would have happened by now.
oh yeah, 100%.
Neither a
This-
goal scorer, or do you still back Big Darwazzy to
I
come up with it when required?
reckon it slots. I get Gakpo Dane bits. I don't know why. I just got a good feeling. Dutch. It's about it.
Defence, good enough,
Yes,
you think?
I would say so. Van Dijk's always good. Kanate's getting more experienced. So.
Van Dijk's getting on a bit.
No, still say he's solid.
Interesting. I don't know about you guys, but the next bit up to about eighth, I found really difficult. I think the best way to categorize this league is there was a top three, maybe a bottom five for me, and then the rest were kind of split in two. But it was very difficult to organize them within the kind of group that I put them in. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, I'd agree
The
with
next
that.
kind of group I had was to about eighth. Kyle, maybe ninth for you. We have all picked the same team in fourth.
I feel like this one is everyone does this every year because they're like, surely it's going to happen this year. Obviously, we've all picked Man United for fourth. I don't know. I think they're kind of, like I said about Liverpool, they're due a wee.
I would say they're not as bad as folk make out.
No, they're not.
Folk make it they're absolutely guff, but they're not actually that bad. They just have a few funny results that made them look shite.
Yeah, I was very close to put them third and Liverpool fourth. I'm not going to lie. The only thing that made me not do it was that Lenny Yoro isn't going to play this year.
They've just signed Delict, apparently. Or
I don't
on the
know if
cusp.
it's confirmed yet.
On the cusp of it, certainly. And that right back,
Yes.
Mazawi for Bayern as well. He's also a rumour.
Yeah, Sander Berger also a rumour. I'm on transfer mark here. That's
I
very
don't think-
weird.
I don't see that being a big one for them.
They've also had Xavi Simons strongly linked. Ivan Toney linked with them. If they managed to sign Ivan Toney, I would probably have put them third, to be honest. And instead, they've gone for Josh Zirkzee from Bologna, again, highly rated. Knows.
What's the odds on Tony?
I don't know what the
Sorry.
odds are.
Just ask him.
He maybe does. Well, Man United are due a really good season, as you say. If they are fourth again, like the past few seasons, I think they're a good bet to get to at least a cup final.
They always
Won the
tend
FA
to.
Cup. They won the FA Cup, so I mean it's
They
not out of
can.
the realms of possibility.
Year before they won the League Cup.
They're always in the cup final stages.
Yeah, Man United are a weird one. Like, I feel like I could have put them anywhere between third and eighth. and I've been able to back it up. But I think fourth is where I had them, and you all agreed. And then it's a bit of a mix. I think me and Robert have the same teams in a different order, and Kyle has some different ones. Me and Kyle do both have Spurs in fifth. Robert, you have Chelsea in fifth. Kyle notably has Chelsea in ninth. I'd like you to explain your different reasonings about Chelsea. Robert, Chelsea fifth. Why?
Just kind of same. I feel like I kind of base it on like my view of like the older results, but like I don't know. I just think they might do a wee bit better. They've been pretty guff. It's going to be hard to be worse than they have been, to be honest. So that's my point. Okay.
Well, Kyle evidently thinks it has been. It can be worse than it has been.
I'm sure pre-season was shite. They've signed all these players, but none of them are really excitable. Like, there's not like, oh, he's going to be a real star man. So a lot of shite they've signed. There's no real key players bar Palmer. So because he's been a bit of a slog. Yeah, I'm signing. But yeah,
thank God, getting rid of him.
I just see being a bit of a slog for them. And this Enzo fella.
Yeah, I compromised. I have them in seventh. I have them kind of between where you put them. I can't decide what Chelsea is going to turn up. Enzo Maresca is, let's be honest, a rather unknown quantity. And once again, it seems like the new manager's brought in his own players, and there are now God knows how many. Good news on that front. At least if there's an injury crisis, they're not going to have very many problems, are they? But you've still got people like I made my fantasy football team today. Sign up to our fantasy league. We will push it again at the end of the show, but please sign up to our fantasy league if you have not already. Pause the video here and do it. I noticed they've still got Romeo Lavia, who I don't think really played last season from Southampton. He was injured. They've also signed Kieran Dewsbury Hall from Leicester, and I know got something like 13 goals and 12 assists in the Championship last season. And I know he was evidently managed by the man who is now the Chelsea manager. But really? Is that the type of signing you're looking at, Chelsea? It's not awe-inspiring, really, is it?
It might work, though.
It's giving Drinkwater vibes.
It gave Panic vibes, to be brutally honest.
I think you'd have said the same if they'd went and signed some big superstar that you'd then turn around and go, he will definitely won't fit into their mould.
That is true. I think I could just criticise Chelsea for signing anyone at the minute. Pedro Neto being the latest one. Good signing, a bit injury prone.
That's all right because it's weakening our rival team, in theory.
Well, I mean, if you say Wolves are our rivals, I think they disagree.
I mean, like league position.
That's what I mean. I think Chelsea should be looking to be a bit better than that. Obviously, the big departures this summer have been Ian Maatsen and then Lewis Hall, who was already on loan last season, and Maatsen, who was on loan last season. There's not, again, I read the list of players. They're not fantastic, like the list of players who are in.
Still got Lukaku as well.
Yeah, they still have Lukaku. They've still not managed this. No one wants him.
I forget that. He could do good, though. I feel like he's obviously different levels here, but I feel like he's like Cyril Dessers in the sense that it must be so frustrating to have him as up front for you. Like sometimes he just has a good turn, and then the rest of the times he's missing open goals and just being generally wacky.
He did make his bed when he said, "I don't like it here. I will go back to Inter," many moons ago.
Yeah, I can't again. I'm looking through the squad now, right? Nicholas Jackson's the alternative striker, and Nicholas Jackson is kind of. I could see a comparison there, and that Nicholas Jackson last season was really frustrated and kept missing sitters.
Yeah. You got Nkunku as well. He's meant to be some sort of forward.
He was injured the whole type. He was injured the whole start of last season, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Came on for a bit. Yeah, I think his first appearance was against Newcastle in the League Cup when they knocked him out. I've looked at the really long list of this Chelsea team, and it's really not obvious what their best team is.
That's what he's going for, just trial and error. Keep trying different players till eventually something sticks.
Yeah. I really don't know how Chelsea are going to go. And me and Kyle did pick the same team in fifth instead. So Robert, you picked them in sixth. We picked Spurs.
I'll just start with my reasoning. It's the classic Spurs place is fifth, so why change?
Again, I could have put Spurs a lot lower. The reason I didn't put Spurs any lower, is because the team that I would have wanted to put above them is Villa, and I'm not sure how Villa will get on in Europe this season. That's literally the only reason.
What my reasoning?
Yes.
Obviously, I put them a wee space lower. I think Angelo had a good start last season. I just sounded funnier in my head, to be honest. And he's had a good start. I know Greg obviously called his follow a wee bit. It wasn't a substantial crisis, but obviously it wasn't quite the start they had in comparison to the ending. But I feel like sixth in the Premier League is still very respectable. I feel like Spurs have still got a lot of space to close between the likes of your Cities and your Arsenals, to be honest. But yeah, I think it's still respectable in a sense, and it's still a decent finish in European football, isn't it? That'll be conference, isn't it? Or
I
that's
think it's Europa League.
Europa
Six.
League.
Aye, so I apologize, Europa League, but you get the point I'm making.
Yeah, I really don't know about Spurs. Signing Dom Solanke helped me convince myself they were going to come fifth.
I think I said this on Saturday actually when we were watching the football, but I think he's a really good signing. I think there's a lot of players that they could have signed for that money that probably won't do as good a job as him, to be honest.
I would say he's played for Chelsea and Liverpool, and he didn't really do much either.
Late bloomer.
But he hadn't had a chance to play, to be fair, but when he did play, he was shite. So
Yeah, this is going to like that is a boom or bust signing. Like he's either going to like put them to like do really well for them this season, or he's going to be shit.
Well, he's not got much competition, so it can't be that bad.
Exactly.
Richarlison and Werner's his only other contenders.
And even then, you can play both of them out wide.
Or Troy Parrott if he's still a thing.
I think they gave up on that, to be honest. Moving on a bit, we've all kind of put Villa down a bit, 6th, 7th, and 8th. I think do you two? I think I mentioned my reasoning for Villa was just sharing a kind of reluctance at how they'll get on European football and meet the heights of last season. Does anyone have anything to add to that about Villa?
No, just a bit of European burnout, I think.
Yeah, good signings is made, but I think Europe will catch up in them.
And we've all kind of done the same with Newcastle. I know Newcastle obviously missed out on Europe last season, but we've all kind of got Newcastle in the 7th, 8th spot. I think our squad's good enough to be that good, but there's just no depth.
I think it's just a case of I think they're still going to be paying for the Champions League from this season, like in terms of they've kind of been. I think the confidences went a bit. The season before the confidence was sky high, and obviously the European. I mean, they did well in games, but you know how it ended. So I just think that's kind of then impacted their season. Give them a few seasons, I think they'll start to get back up again. But I think around the 8th spot personally.
Yeah, I'm saying very much just kind of pushing the top 6.
Yeah. One team, we're going to focus on 2 teams now. The middle of the league, I think we've all kind of got the same amount of teams in there. We're probably not going to touch on them as much. But 2 teams I really did want to start with. I want to focus on 2 different teams from London. I want to start with West Ham and say, Kyle, you've got them up in the giddy heights of 6th. I've got them in 9th. Robert, you've got them down in 12th. I think it would be good to focus on West Ham a bit, kind of with the transition from Moisey towards Lopetegui and how we think that's going to go, because we clearly think that's going to go differently. Kyle, we'll start with you for the optimists. The optimist view for West Ham.
Well, they've had a quite a good window. They've seen some really good players to help them push up towards Champions League, pushing standards, as you call it. They don't have Europe, if I'm right, or do they?
No.
So they don't have Europe, so
yep,
help them even more so. So I think Lopetegui is a far better manager as well. So I think it'll play well for them.
You think 6th is like beating Newcastle, Villa, and Chelsea? You think that's realistic for them?
Well, Chelsea, they've said aren't very good. Villa, Champions League burnout. Newcastle, bipolar. So if they're on their game, no danger.
Yeah. Robert, do you think they're probably not going to be in their game? You've got them down in 12th.
Yeah, I don't remember putting them this low when I did it, but obviously I have because I can see it in front of me. I've got a soft spot for West Ham. I don't know. I've just always had a soft spot for them.
Well, you
are that in particular, and Forever Blown Bubbles. I'm a big fan. But no, I just think they're in that transition stage. I think they'll maybe need a wee while to adjust because, like you say, Moise has had a very different style of play to what they're going to be playing. So I don't know. I
That's
hope
a
they.
style of play.
Oh,
Oh my head. Oh, I hope they finish higher. I just think they're going to have a bang average season. But a point you made that I agreed with was, to be honest, the teams that I've put in the kind of middle section, your mid-table lot, they could all be it's like a pack of cards in it, just shuffle it. They could literally land anywhere.
Yeah. I think for me, I think that summarises kind of my 9th to 13th, and a wee bit below that actually. 9th to 14th, we'll chuck Palace in there as well. Literally could be any of them. So that's for me, and I think you guys have all got kind of similar teams. West Ham, Fulham, Brighton, Everton, Wolves, Palace. That kind of general 6 teams who are probably not going to be in trouble, and if they are in trouble, like something's gone badly wrong, and any of them could finish in the top 10. I went for West Ham and Fulham. West Ham, for me, as you say, Kyle, have had a really good window. Max Kilman's a great signing from Wolves. Wan-Bissaka should slot in there and look pretty natural in there. And to me, Nicholas Füllkrug is going to be an absolute handful.
And they've signed Todibo from Nice as well.
Exactly. Like that is a really, really good window for them. And I think they are going to push up. I could have had them above Newcastle. Newcastle moved down about 4 spots from where I first put them. And I was not putting Newcastle any lower than 8th. Again, Fulham, I think have done similar. Robert, again, you've got Fulham a lot lower. You've got Fulham 15th, but I had Fulham up there because I also think they've had a good window. Anyone else want to add to anything about that kind of mid-table before I move on to Brentford?
There's a few teams that you just can't predict. It's just like I think Palace. It depends what day. It depends what day of the week is. It's just like
depends if it's the first or the second half of last season. If it's like the second half of last season, since they've appointed the new manager, they could be anywhere. They could be 7th.
I put them a lot higher than I wanted to. I thought they've had a good 2024 thus far, so why not?
The other one I wanted to pick out from that kind of mid-table before we move on to Brentford is Everton, because like part of me wanted to put Everton quite much further down, but actually, like it's Sean Dyche's Everton. They're not going to concede a lot of goals. They're going to be really dangerous from set pieces. They're going to be a pain in the arse, especially at home for a lot of sides. And if they can get some stability in that club, then they are going to be in that top 10.
I was the same. I was got them quite low, and then I thought, compared to the rest of the teams, they're not that shite.
No, they're not. The 10-point deduction from last year like puts them up to about 11th, 12th anyway.
I think we're just thinking back to the Lampard days.
Yes. Robert, anything to add on Everton?
Just think Everton seem to end on a better run, and they're just going to feel like the confidence is maybe coming back. Hark back to the David Moyes era. I mean, what was it, 4th they finished, did they not, at one point?
Yep.
I don't know. I mean, saying that, I've got them in, 10th, so I just think kind of decent mid-table, kind of gradual build-up. I think a lot of teams are unrealistic in a sense, so you're not going to jump from the bottom half into the Champions League football, unless you're Newcastle, really. Nah, they were kind of mid-table anyway, but you know what I'm trying to say.
I do. The last team, as I've promised for a few terms now, is Brentford. Robert, you've got Brentford up in 9th. Kyle has them 15th. I've got them 16th. What makes you so optimistic about Brentford this season, Robert?
I don't know. I always think that Brentford kind of have a positive outlook and just kind of get results sometimes where you would think they would maybe not. I don't know. I think it's one of these I just had that section that I wasn't too sure on, and I'm just going on a whim. I don't know. To be honest, not really got any statistics behind it. It was just the pure fact that I just think they'll do it. They'll have a good season.
Yeah, Kyle? Brentford, not so sure.
Don't know. Depends what Tony does. What sort of mood he's in, really.
This is me, but I think it's very different for Ivan Toney. I think if Brentford lose Ivan Toney, they're going down.
And then might replace him with somebody better.
Well, they have signed Igor Thiago from Club Bruges. Their other summer signing so far has been Fabio Carvalho from Liverpool to try and inject some attacking flair.
I mean, it's not the worst signing in the world.
No. For me, it was just first season for Brentford was a honeymoon. Last season wasn't as good, and you've seen this kind of thing before, where it's honeymoon, not as good, sleepwalk into relegation. I don't know. I've got them 16th. I think the bottom 5 will be quite close. From Bournemouth on mine down, and I think that's probably what we should move on to. The 3 relegated teams and then the couple above them. I'm trying to see if we've all agreed that one team should go down, and we have. That team is Ipswich.
Yeah, I just think fairy tale.
Yep.
Luton scenario, I think.
You think they're going to be as bad as Luton were at the start of the season, though?
No, not as bad. I just don't think they'll amass too much. It'd be nice to see a newly promoted team stay up. But yeah, I just don't really see it happening.
I've got Ipswich to finish 18th. I think it's going to be kind of a Blackpool scenario where everyone is really thrilled with them being there. Like we're already in the fairy tale mentality with Ipswich, even though they have spent a wee bit of money and they do have a really good manager behind them. Especially if they lose Kieran McKenna, they're in big trouble, I think. But I think it's probably going to be like, come to the final day and Ipswich are going to sadly go down. I think there are going to be teams worse than them this year. Talking of those, Kyle, you've got Ipswich finish bottom.
Yeah, I just think they're just going to be stinking up the place.
Fair enough. How bad is it going to be on a scale of 1 to Derby County?
Oh no, it's not as bad as that. I don't think they'll be terrible. I think they'll just be the worst of the teams. But they'll be still in contention by like March.
I'm going to pick some other teams. So you two both pick Bournemouth to go down. I'm interested in why that is.
Solanke.
Lack of Solanke.
Yeah, pretty much.
I just think what I've seen of them hasn't been too inspiring. I just feel like they're probably outstayed the welcome.
Fair enough.
We were not quite jammy last season.
I think they picked up some good points, though. Like, Iraola did a really good job with them, and I think he's probably going to do the same thing again. Like, I actually didn't really consider them to go down.
Oh well.
I don't know. Yeah, I just didn't think they were going to be in trouble, really. One team that me and Robert think are going to be in trouble instead is going to be Forest. Robert, you've actually got Forest finish bottom.
I just think it's going to be a bad season for them. I've just got a feeling. Woohoo.
This is the outstayed their welcome for me.
Yeah.
Lucky, last season had a points deduction. Were saved by the teams below them being shit. This season, I think it's going to be really tight, and I think they're going.
Oh, yeah.
I've actually got Southampton at the bottom of the league. I think they're going to be shit. I don't know why I think that, but I think Southampton are going to be bottom, and fairly clearly bottom.
I think they'll just be on the edge. I think they'll just stay up. I think that the jamminess that Kale mentioned of Bournemouth will swap, and they'll gain that jamminess, if that's the official terminology we're going for.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like the same as Fam. I think they're just kind of do their thing and somehow stay up.
Fair enough. I think that's worth. I think we've got everyone's bottom three. So I've got Ipswich for Southampton. Robert's got Bournemouth, Ipswich, Forest. Oh no, Kyle, you've got Bournemouth, Ipswich, and Leicester. Leicester to finish 18th.
Well, they've lost their manager to Chelsea. They've lost one of their. Hey,
got a better one.
Debatable. Sold one of their better players with Dewsbury Hall as well, and the team's not that exciting looking from my thoughts. It's all about Danny Ward. I mean, he's shite.
Yep.
It's like it could be a tough season if they got to rely on Jamie Vardy as well.
I did see a few Leicester fans on the old social media saying that they're definitely going down if it's Danny Ward that is the first choice.
And Yannick Vestergaard, who's also not very good.
It's the same. Quite a lot of the same players who sent them down in the first place.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, Leicester are the one. For me, it was a choice between Leicester and Ipswich, and I had more faith in Leicester being able to pull something out of the bag maybe in January. I don't quite know. I'd love Ipswich to stay up. I just don't think they will, and therefore I picked Leicester to go down. We also picked three teams. Sorry, Kyle.
No, you made a good point, and they might pick up some points. But I think if it's the points will come when Jamie Vardy's got his gloves on. He's like unlocked some secret powers when he's got them bad boys on.
They're going to rely on Goldfield, Bobby De Cordova-Reid, who is about as much use as me.
Fair enough.
So, we did pick three teams to go up. Robert, you picked Leeds to win the league after their opening day draw against Portsmouth. Obviously, Championship started at the weekend there. You picked Leeds to win the league.
We watched it, and I said at the time, even though I think they were doing it at one point, I still said I think they'll win the league. I think They've got a point to prove. They've got a decent side, although it was a draw. They played some decent football. I just think that they switched off at certain chances and Pompey just took advantage. One of Pompey's goals was a screamer that came off very poor defending. I think it was a poor clearance or a poor touch. Yeah, I just think that, you know, I mean,
one of them was a penalty that was a bit very.
we didn't think it was. I didn't think it was a penalty. So yeah, I mean, it happens in the Championship with not having VAR. I just think they're going to do it.
And Leeds should have won that game. Aronson should have won that game at the end.
Oh, I couldn't believe he missed it. It was easier to score it.
I also had Leeds winning the league until last night when I seen Burnley and decided that Burnley instead might be the ones who win the league. Kyle, you agreed with me. Do you have anything to add?
It was, well, for me, it was between Burnley and Luton, sort of two of last season's relegation candidates. So I just picked Burnley because they won last night.
4-1.
4-1, yeah. So just needs at Kenilworth Road. So not sloppy.
Yeah, for me, Scott Parker done it with Fulham. He can do it again.
Oh, that too.
Me and Kyle both picked Leeds to be second. Robert, you picked Burnley to be second. Playoff winners, I picked West Brom. I don't know if they'll finish third, but I thought West Brom had a good end to last season. Carlos Carbrand's a decent manager. I think they've been out of the league for a few years now, and it feels a bit too long. The other outside shout that I really didn't want to put up there, I don't know what Sunderland can do, but part of me thinks, again, they might sneak up that way.
Would be pretty good to have the Tyne Derby back in the Premier League.
It would, or alternatively, if Middlesbrough probably want to go up, that would also be nice.
Nah, I still, yeah, you know what I mean, no.
Yeah.
Pash.
Any other shouts for the other third place team? The other potential playoff winning team?
Do I put no?
I think it'd be Sheffield United.
Just because, again, you tend to get these yo-yo teams, that's why I picked them. It's
Fair
always the
enough.
same teams come down, so that's my logic.
I wasn't too sure. I thought your shout of West Brom was actually quite good. So I wasn't really, I don't know if I actually gave that one. Yeah, I think it's going to be one of those. Championship always, it is one of those, you never know.
Yeah, I think Leeds and Burnley are going to be quickly at the top, and then everyone else is going to be a bit of a rammy.
I would like to see Luton back up there as well, obviously.
They've had their season. They can piss off back to League One where they belong.
Well,
what about the likes of Coventry, who'd obviously had a good FA Cup run?
Yeah, exactly. I think it could be anyone. I think just West Brom are the type of team who I think will win the playoffs. Anyway, that is our Premier League tables. We will put our full tables in the comments below this video. We will share some selected highlights on the socials. Let us know. Again, put in the comments below the video, like we did the Scottish one. Put your Premier League tables. We will revisit this at the end of the season and give shout-outs to people who got things very right or very wrong, including us. But talking about getting things very right or very wrong, we are on to the transfer game. And it is me running the game this week after my collapse last week against Kyle.
That's what I do.
As usual, with one of my transfer games, there is a connection. You get one guess at the connection. You can make it at any point, and a correct guess will get you 2 extra points. Are we ready? I'm not going to explain the rules again. Are we ready?
I think you should, for those who are new, maybe listening for the first time.
Fine, for those listening at the first time, I'm going to give you some clues about a player and a transfer they had. We'll start with clue number 1, which is the year and the fee. And if you guess them correctly after that clue, you get 5 points. Second clue is the position. If you guess it correctly after that, you get 4 points. Third clue is their nationality, 3 points. Then the club they left, 2 points. And the club they joined, 1 point. Most points at the end, including the 2 points for the connection, wins. And we will start for the first player. 2024, free transfer.
Oh, that's a good one. Brennan Dickinson.
No.
Kai Kennedy.
No. 2024, free transfer for a winger.
Oh, well, that's good.
Yep.
Oh, Jesus.
Free transfer.
Ryan Kent.
It's not.
Nah, no idea. Just keep going.
Nope, move on. 2024, free transfer for a winger from Canada.
Junior Hoylett.
Junior Hoylett is 3 points. from Aberdeen to Hibernian. Also could have been from Vancouver Whitecaps to Aberdeen.
I thought you were still Aberdeen.
He left Aberdeen in the summer, signed for Hibernian this week.
Yeah, there you go.
I saw that, just completely forgot he was Canadian.
Yes. So, second player, 2009, £3 million.
These are Junior Hoylett transfers. Junior Hoylett.
It's not Junior Hoylett.
Da.
Nico Krancher,
It's not. 2009, £3 million for a striker.
Defoe.
No.
I feel like it was an answer a few weeks ago, but maybe wrong. Ricky Lambert?
It's not. I think Ricky Lambert was in the 3 points to clean sheet showdown.
I think so.
I think he was in the final.
Don't ask me.
I also tested that, so I'll be aware. And I watched it as well, to be fair. So
Yes. 2009, £3 million. Actually, Kyle, did you guess there? Yeah, you did. You guessed both. 2009, £3 million for a striker from Scotland.
Kenny Miller.
No.
Chris Boyd?
It's not. 2009, £3 million for a striker from Scotland, left Hibernian.
Derek Riordan.
No.
I don't know if he played for them or not, but I'm going to say Jordan Rhodes.
No.
2009,
£3 million striker from Scotland, left Hibernian and joined Burnley.
Fletcher. Stephen.
Stevie Fletcher, 1 point.
Actually, that was Gary O'Connor the second time.
1 point. Stevie Fletcher left Hibs to join Burnley. 2011, £5.5 million.
Jordan Rhodes.
No.
I find it hard to in my head to imagine that at that time.
I had buck teeth.
No.
Well, more so back then.
I don't know. Meet you. Was he kicking a bit back then?
It's not true, I'm afraid. 2011, £5.5 million from midfielder.
Lee McCulloch.
No.
Stephen Ireland. Was he a midfielder?
No.
I don't know.
2011, £5.5 million from midfielder from England.
Stephen England. No.
I'm going to clip that. That's getting clipped.
Is that a formal guess?
No. Yeah. My head's gone now.
Jordan Henderson.
It's not Jordan Henderson.
5
seconds, Robert.
Head's gone. No.
No. 2011, £5.5 million from midfielder from England, the left West Ham United.
No.
No, I was going to say, unless he went back.
Stuart Downing.
No.
I'm going to say Noble, but I don't know if he left and came back or he was there the whole time. I'm going to say Noble.
It's not Noble.
Nah.
1 point again. 2011, £5.5 million from midfielder from England, left West Ham United to join Tottenham Hotspur.
Scott Parker.
Scott Parker, 1 point. 5-0. Any ideas what the connections are? The answers again: Junior Hoylett, Stephen Fletcher, Scott Parker. Next one, 2015, £13 million.
You said that really enthusiastic. This must be a good one. 13.
I just like putting some good vibes in the game, you know.
Good vibes.
Peace and power.
2015, 13 million.
Yes.
What do
you say?
One of Kyle's guesses. Stuart Downing.
It's not. 2015, £13 million for a striker.
I don't know. I can't.
No, Robert.
I need to start guessing.
15. I think he's too young. I'm going to say Ian Atchell. Maybe he was like a pure wonder kid.
It's not.
No.
He was still at Man City. I think it was before he moved to Leicester.
And I also don't know how much he went to Leicester for. So
2015, £13 million for a striker from Serbia.
Mitrovic.
I heard Kyle first. Mitrovic, 3 points.
I'm pretty confident I said that, but no, joking.
I heard Kyle first, 3 points. Mitrovic moved from Anderlecht to Newcastle. Once again, I'll read all 4 players in case anyone wants to make a guess at the correction. Junior Hoylett, Stephen Fletcher, Scott Parker, Alexander Mitrovic. 1 player to go.
It'll be something really stupid and all. Something really, really, really stupid.
I'll tell you before we go to the last player, it links to the theme of this episode. So it's to do with the Premier League in some way.
I've got a guess. I'm going to go for it.
You want to go for it now? Okay.
Okay, right, I'll keep going then.
You can do it after the last player if you want, or you can do it now.
No, I'll just keep going.
2021, 24 million.
No. Odegaard.
No.
Jesus, how much did he go? I don't even know when.
What did you say?
Jesus.
It's not. 2021, 24 million for a goalkeeper.
2021.
What? I'm glad I didn't guess.
Ramsdale.
4 points. Aaron Ramsdale.
Good guess.
So 12-0 with the opportunity to get 2 points and some pride for the correction, Robert. Junior
No way.
Hoylett, Stephen Fletcher, Scott Parker, Alexander Mitrovic, Aaron Ramsdale.
What else
Don't
I
want to
guess
guess
is
the
it
correction
gonna-
now. We can do the tie break and see if that helps.
You on? Why not?
Tie break player, 2019, 15 million.
Did I get any bonus points for this? No.
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 Oh shit, I'm not playing them.
Only if you get the correction, which this is meant to help you with, and I'll just read it out until one of you guesses the player right. 2019, 15 million midfielder.
No.
I thought, just keep going.
From Denmark.
I need
Ericsson.
all the clues.
Oh, 2019, 15 million midfielder from Denmark.
No.
Defender.
Defender, you say?
Midfielder
Midfielder,
from
right?
Denmark.
That's what I thought you said. No, I'm still name the
No.
wiser.
2019, 50 million midfielder from Denmark left Huddersfield Town.
Billing.
Philip Billing would be correct, and you would have
Right.
got 2 points.
Didn't even know he was Danish.
Do we know the correction now? Having added Philip Billing to the
I've
group
been
with
saying
Junior
this-
Hoylett, Steve Fletcher, Scott Parker, Alexander Mitrovic, and Aaron Ramsdale.
I've been sitting for a while on this, but I think it's completely vague. Has it been relegated from the Premier League?
I need more than that. But you're not far off. I need more than that. There's more to it than that. It's not just they've all been relegated.
Relegated twice from the Premier League.
You're really close. You're
Relegated
not
3
quite there.
times from the Premier League.
Nope. You're really close.
Fucking no. Can't give
They've
a
all been relegated with different clubs. Multiple different clubs.
I would have
So
too.
Junior Hoylett has been relegated with Blackburn, QPR and Cardiff. Steve Fletcher was relegated with Burnley and Wolves. Scott Parker was relegated with West Ham, Fulham and with Fulham as a manager. Mitrovic was relegated with Newcastle and Fulham. Ramsdale with Sheffield United and Bournemouth. I thought you might have got it off that. So he was relegated one season after the other. And Billing with Huddersfield and Bournemouth.
Not
If you
gonna
got
lie.
that connection before anyone else here, tell us in the comments and we'll give you a wee shout out next week.
I was going to say like scored in the opening game week 1 or something, but then you said
Ah.
Ramsdale, and I was like, all right, good job I didn't guess. Thought maybe Scott Parker scored a header or something.
No, sadly, they were all relegated with multiple different clubs. And that is the end of this week's episode. Before we go, Kyle,
Aye.
fantasy football, go.
No, if you want to take part in it again and try and beat us, feel free to join it. I'd rather you did. The more numbers makes me happy.
We had a lot last year. We don't have as many this year yet. Get signed up.
You got a week.
This is going to be backwards. Oh, it's backwards.
No, that was fine. That was fine on my screen.
It's right on my screen.
No, it's not
It's
on
maybe
mine.
not
There you
fine
go.
on Robert's screen, but just the one that's recording. Again, we'll put it in the description of the video when we upload it, or we'll put it in the comments. And we will see you next week, by which time the Premier League will have started, so you'll already be behind.
So you've got till Friday to join the league.
Yes, what he said, before the opening game on Friday night.
So join. Did I tell?
Yes. But before then, see you now.
Cheers.
Godspeed.